like that would take a great deal of mindfulness to actually be inside of yourself and recognize these different annoyances that happen on a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
If we don't catch them and it does end up affecting our health, you mentioned blood pressure. How do we know if we have high blood pressure, and when should we go to the doctor to check our blood pressure?
The unfortunate thing about diseases like high blood pressure, and if we look on the other side, also one of the risk factors for heart disease is high cholesterol, is that these are often referred to as silent killers, because most people often don't present with signs and symptoms. So the best advice is to have a general checkup regularly. When you go to the doctor for another condition, make sure that they check your blood pressure regularly, because that's the only way that we can detect high blood pressure on an early enough. Often people present with an event like heart attack or stroke before they are diagnosed with high blood pressure, and one of the main risk factors for these heart conditions. So it is important for us to screen regularly to make sure that we identify these risk factors and treat them sooner rather than later to prevent the onset of a more serious disease or the incidence of a more serious condition like heart attack or stroke.
Now, aside from blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes, are there any other heart conditions that present themselves due to stress?
Stress in general are still very much researched at the moment, and the researchers are investigating whether stress not indirectly affects, like we've seen on high blood pressure and increasing your blood pressure through the increase in your heart rate, but if it actually can have a direct effect on your health in general through an inflammatory process or inflammatory activating inflammation in your system, in your body. That's still very much researched at this moment, but it would be interesting to see whether or not through a process of inflammation it actually affects not only your heart but your whole body as a system.
How do you deal with stress?
I try to, I think I've learned a lot through this survey to realize that you can't get away from people, and you can't get away from those people that annoy you. Breathing techniques work really, really well, and there are actually quite a few applications that people can go to and that just teach you how to breathe in and breathe out, because that slows your heart rate, which reduces your blood pressure, and it allows you to deal with those stressful situations a lot easier.